from the day we are born, we have presented an image of a model, child, adolescent, youngster, a citizen. Many of us try our best to follow the sometimes explicit, other times unsaid rules of the society. We listen to all authority figures, try to fit in as hard as we can in every social structure we are placed in, and formulate our lives as per the societal code. But even when you've done everything expected of you and you're living in a decent house, with a decent job, with a nice family, there are days when you are alone and get a chance for self-reflection. It feels like something is missing. You catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror and cannot identify who is the person in front of you. You cannot find yourself. Finding yourself, a pursuit considered most important by the 19th century philosopher and writer Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche, a German philosopher of the late 19th century, wrote many books, including Thus Spake Zarathustra and Beyond Good and Evil, has influenced many thinkers, writers, artists, and intellectuals, and continues to do so. His works form the basis of the school of thought called Existentialism, a philosophical inquiry that explores the problems of human existence through the experience of thinking, feeling, and acting individual. While some may misconstrue Nietzsche as a nihilist, his ideals couldn't be far from it. The work of Nietzsche has always focused on the individual and how following society blindly crushes that individuality we all carry within ourselves. And Nietzsche identifies the biggest hurdle in the journey of individual exploration as herd mentality. Just like animals, humans too have a tendency to form herds and follow them without looking left and right. The herd mentality or tribal behavior has served an important role in human evolution, as, without the safety net of a herd, an individual was unsafe, unfed, and insecure in the wild. But its traces have strongly formed the basis of our modern society, and Nietzsche vehemently opposed it throughout his life. Talking about the negative effects of group thinking, Nietzsche quoted, "Insanity in individuals is something rare, but in groups, parties, nations, and epochs, it is the rule." This fear of being an outcast is what often leads individuals to surrender their personal thoughts to the will of the group. What starts as peer pressure in the small groups turns into war policies and hate on a nationwide scale. We first start to adhere to the choices of our friends to gain their acceptance, and as we grow up, we tend to distinguish right from wrong as told by the moral codes of our society. And the groups don't take it nicely to those who question and challenge the set morals by it. Nietzsche had a harsh view of the morality imposed on individuals by society. He said, "Morality is just a fiction used by the herd of inferior human beings to hold back a few superior men." In order to find the superior and unique within yourself, you need to start your journey by first stepping away from your herd. The first step of doing it might be to give yourself a little alone time and question everything you held to be true. You need to ask yourself, are your beliefs and your ethics rooted in deep introspection, or are they adopted by the larger narrative common in your society? This fierce inquiry may lead to alienation to some degree and apathy from your friends and loved ones, as a society, in general, has a precedent of being unaccepting of its heretics. Often, people who stand out of the crowd bother the ones within the homogeneous crowds, as the person different from the others remind them of their uniformity. While pursuing this step, you might alienate a few friends, but this is an important starter to your journey of knowing who you truly are when stripped down to the garb of groupthink. The more you'd spend time introspecting and searching yourself, the different you would become from the others, and they would try to pull you back into the group at first. But with persistence, you can get closer to your self-actualization. But as one separates themselves from the herd, the going doesn't get smooth and easy. There are other hurdles in the path, and the next biggest hurdle in finding yourself is dealing with isolation. Each self-actualized person had to deal with this phase of isolation in their journey, be it religious messiahs and leaders, or the philosophers like Nietzsche. They have all spent a period of time in their life in total isolation. after which they have emerged knowing more about within than without. Let's be honest here. Separating yourself from the belief systems and analyzing them is a difficult task, even sufferable. But so is living each day like yesterday, wandering through life aimlessly, always dissatisfied. The suffering that would provide meaning to your existence is worth having. As Nietzsche said, to live is to suffer, to survive is to finding meaning in the suffering. Fighting the temptation to conform is the mark of a survivor who can conquer their desires and impulses. This time of self-reflection can make you closer to your inner self and make you think about every action. Are you blindly following your instincts, or is there a meaning behind your desire? The question has become even more profound in today's age of heightened reality and instant technology. Everything you desire, from food to love, is available on the small computer in your pockets. Most of us spend scrolling and suffering through our phones for hours, just so we couldn't have any time to think of our place in the world. But asking this question will lead you to identify the things that hold value in your life. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions to be destroyed. But when you do hear your truths by yourself and your illusions are destroyed, what you are left with is your meaning, your purpose in life. Many people find their meaning in religion, but in society that is getting secular by day. A true individual cannot rely on religion to define their meaning to them. Organized religion too demands uniformity, and millions of people adhering to one religion may derive a sense of goodwill from the religion, cannot ask for one common purpose for all. Nietzsche quotes, "He who knows why can bear almost any how." Nietzsche believes that a self-actualizing person can and should indulge themselves in music, art, literature, and reading. One can derive meaning from philosophy and humanities that leave more space for abstract thoughts rather than religion that functions in predefined parameters. As per Nietzsche, all these steps call to lead a person to become Ubermensch, an evolved being who, independent of the society around him, derives his own meaning. The concept of Ubermensch was introduced by Nietzsche in his seminal book, Thus Spake Zarathustra, a person who doesn't blindly accept his fate, but constructs himself and loves all the pain and suffering that comes with it, as it is all a result of his own choosing and not shoved down his throat by a predefined system. This creation of personal meaning and cruising through life on one's own conditions lead a person to gain strength, to lift the greatest weight of life, the weight of responsibility and ownership of one's life. Once gone through this journey and gaining ownership of their life, the person then is no longer a slave to their instincts, fears, or the societal codes. This journey will give you the strength of breaking the cycles of identical mistakes we commit in life that lead us to feel that we have no control over our fate. Nietzsche says, imagine if one day you come to know that you have to live the life you've lived so far is going to repeat itself numerous times without any change. What would your reaction be? How would that life look like to you? The purpose of your journey is that by the end of it, you become a person who would have no hesitation in living their life, each day, each choice again and again without any change, because it is designed by their own device. You need to release yourself from the comfortable yet soul-crushing self-prescribed jail of herd and come out as an individual who can face suffering and create meaning out of it. The purpose of existence is to live as a fierce individual who has unlimited freedom and agency in their own life. Remember, this journey is difficult, but it is worth taking because when you get to know your why, you will be able to deal with almost any how.
If you found the video informative, then hit the like button, comment your thoughts down and share to spread the word. Also, a sub to the channel would be motivating. Just wait, we also have over 300 videos to watch, just click left or right. Keep inspiring.